I just wanted to point something out about this. I don't know if people know much about this program, but it's called WIC. And they have this in every state, and it's run through the USDA. And it has to do with nutrition education for pregnant women and women who have children under the age of 5, and basically women who have low income. The Women, Infants, and Children program is a federal grant program. The USDA gives grants to states for supplemental foods, healthcare referrals, which has to do with immunizations, and nutrition education for low-income pregnant, breastfeeding, and non-breastfeeding postpartum women, and to infants and children up to age 5 who are found to be at a nutritional risk. It's a supplemental nutrition program that's on the side of food stamps. It's in addition to that. You don't have to have food stamps to get on WIC, you just have to be poor. But it's supposed to be a nutritional education program, and it's about making smart and healthy choices on what you eat. And this is the Texas brochure that I just picked up at a local H-E-B grocery store. And I just want to point out for a second that some of these choices are not going to scream health to you as soon as you look at it. I don't know how many people think that spraying a bunch of synthetic vitamins on some corn here with the Dora's head on it is, really a nutritional choice. But what I thought was interesting about this is that there are hardly any organic options in here. In fact, basically none. What you can get organic is fresh fruits and vegetables. That actually surprised me, and I'll tell you why in a minute. That is actually allowed. Organic is allowed. It says right there, organic allowed. But everything else in here, organic is not allowed. You can't get organic dairy products, you can't get organic eggs, cheese, nothing. Organic is specifically in the not allowed category, and in fact, they do promote breastfeeding at WIC, so that is a good thing that I'm totally behind. I breastfed my kids. I think that's what everyone should do, obviously. I mean, infant formula is made out of 50% like corn syrup solids, another 26% basically oils, and it's just a bunch of crap. But if you were to get infant formula through this program, if for some reason you can't breastfeed or whatever, you're still not getting organic. It says right there, it's not allowed. DHA, not allowed. Of course, DHA has its own tyranny. There's a whole hexane production thing going on with DHA, so it sounds healthy, but it's really, there's issues with it. But still, if you buy baby fruits and vegetables in a jar, organic, not allowed. It's on there. It's not allowed to have that. So you're not allowed to give that to your baby, and you're not allowed to have that when you're a pregnant woman. And I just think this is insane because we're saying we're teaching healthy choices, smart choices for healthy families. These are the approved things, and the whole point is that this is a nutritional education program that's run through the government. We are teaching these pregnant women and women who have children under the age of 5. This is supposed to be to educate them on what to eat and how to eat healthy and how to teach their children to eat healthy. And there's almost no value given to organic foods whatsoever, even though study after study continues to come out that shows glyphosate kills human cells, that it's an estrogen mimicker, that it's an endocrine disruptor, that it's carcinogenic. I mean, continually there are studies that come out that show that glyphosate causes birth defects. And all kinds of animal studies, and Monsanto's own studies showed this, okay? They've known it since the 80s, okay? But we're not even going to educate anyone on that. We're going to set them up for a lifetime of health issues. And this right here I just wanted to show you because I came across it the other day while I was cleaning up around here. This is my WIC folder. That's right, because I was a poor college student, and I was from a small rural Missouri town, and what you do when you're poor and you're from a small town, you go get on WIC. And so I did, and I actually ended up dropping out because I woke up around this time and I realized all the stuff that was going on with how food is used against people in this country, and I quit. But this is supposed to be an educational nutrition program, like I said, and it says right here, WIC participant rights. The #1 right you have is for nutrition education. This is how it works. They give you this folder. Of course, now it's probably a little bit different, but what they did for me at the time was they give you a folder, and then you have your dates on here where you have to come in to your appointments where you're educated, and there's my post-it note for the appointments that I probably stopped going, because I just stopped going. I didn't even use my little vouchers. I still have them, see? But they give you this voucher, and see, it tells you how, you can have 2 gallons of milk and a dozen eggs and several ounces of cereal. And you take this folder with you to the store, and they fill it out in line, and then the people, it's kind of like having a red scarlet letter A for being poor. The people behind you get really frustrated because it takes a long time to fill out. But the point is that I'm making here is that, look, it says eating well and staying healthy, and it has a picture of a pregnant woman on it. And of course, this has probably changed in Missouri since then, but this is from 2008. There is nothing in here that's organic that's allowed. Nothing. You can get all of this cereal, you can get all this juice. I mean, there's all these options you have, so it looks like you have all these options. But then when you go into the not allowed, organic. Not allowed, organic. Check this out. For women exclusively breastfeeding, you can get carrots, but you're not allowed to have organic carrots. So they're going to teach you from early on. And the people that get these programs are mostly uneducated, poor, young women who are pregnant. I'm thinking about signing up for WIC, but I wanted to ask, I had looked at the brochure, and I noticed that it doesn't really offer a lot of organic choices, and I was wondering why that is. Because it says smart choices and healthy families, and it's talking about nutrition and education and stuff. And I'm just wondering why there's not a lot of organic options on there, because I've read a lot about the stuff they put on conventional food, and it seems like a lot of those pesticides cause birth defects and they're endocrine disruptors and they cause cancer and stuff, and it just seems like there'd be more organic choices.
Yeah, I understand that. Basically, I know like the fruits and vegetables, you can get those organic. It doesn't say they cannot be organic. Like that's what I did when I was pregnant. I was like, I'd get the fruits and just get them organically versus like getting.
I don't know. I just think it's very ironic that it's an educational program for nutrition for pregnant women and small babies and infants, and like as far as like the baby formulas and stuff, you can't get organic for the babies. And I mean, if you've read some of these studies, that seems like the opposite of a healthy family or a smart choice, Especially if you're disadvantaged because you have financial issues going on, then you probably already have a hard time making healthy choices at the grocery store anyways, especially if you're on SNAP or something. And so it seems to me like this would be one place where educating people about organic foods and the virtue of not putting foods that's laden with glyphosate pesticides and things like that are going to cause all kinds of health problems. This would be the place to start doing that for people. And it's just, I was reading the brochure.
Yeah, we do have all our classes are based. They're based on nutrition, so we tell people to try to, cook with that and everything. And like I said, they have the choices in the fruits and vegetables.
I don't know. Do you think this is just like a financial issue? Like they don't want to let people have organic eggs and milk, and because it costs more? Or?
Yeah. I think it's like a cost. I think it's basically a cost thing for the state.
They're making organic into a boutique food that only rich people can have.
And this is where the organic food meets the socio-political issue, because you feel the schism, right? You're talking about a free food program, but it's for mothers with children. But you hear the libertarian conservative side of you saying, but government program, I don't want to pay for other people, and we shouldn't be taxed on this. This is where organic food meets the politics, because clearly, from the health information and the political information, we see that they're not interested in raising a poor population that is strong-minded and going to go towards independence. You can see how this creates, based on foods that weaken your immune system and wreck all your gut flora, create babies that are not primed to become healthy because they're going to grow up on these programs and eat foods that are not enriching their minds. Obviously, there's a lot of fascist politics where brands are promoted because of interlocking relationships with the government agencies.
I mean, look at this. The cereals that are allowed in Texas, it's all Kellogg's, General Mills, and Post. Okay?
Listen, the USDA provides billions upon billions of dollars, tens and hundreds of billions of dollars per year through the U.S. Farm Bill package, and they promote the growing of things like corn and soy. which helps these companies to produce junk food. If this was an upright world with a straightforward agenda instead of these hidden agendas, you would find the USDA and the Farm Bill promoting and subsidizing organic foods so that even the poorest can afford to eat healthy easily, and we can raise a strong, vibrant society. Obviously, that's not what's going on. There's a lot of money changing hands, but do they really want people to get off of welfare and food stamps and WIC and these other programs? Well, obviously some do not.
Obviously not. This is to help teach you to feed your family in a healthy way. They just keep mentioning that word health, healthy foods, staying healthy. But how are you going to stay healthy if you're pregnant and you're feeding your baby a bunch of conventional and GMO pesticide-laden foods, which have shown in studies to cause all kinds of health problems?
And this agency has admitted that it's making decisions based on money, obviously, in addition to what's healthy. And the nutritional researchers and statisticians have concluded. Andrew Janowski of the University of Washington studied that poverty is the biggest indicator of obesity because the cheapest items in the grocery store are also the least nutritious, the junk foods, the sodas, etc. And it's actually very expensive to eat a lot of fruits and vegetables if they're fresh. A little cheaper if they're in a can, but they have a lot less nutritional content then. And so it goes to show that if you didn't want people on welfare, you would want to promote through subsidies foods that are affordably nutritious, but they don't do that.
Well, why would you want to raise a generation of people that are going to be primed for health problems, that are going to be primed for type 2 diabetes, autoimmune disorders, digestive issues, and cancer? I mean, that's what's really going on here, because we're starting out telling pregnant women they should eat pesticide-laden foods, which in studies have shown to cause birth defects and to set these kids up for lifetime worth of health problems from the get-go before they're even born. And this is what we're telling them is eating healthy, eating well, staying healthy. This is all propaganda. That's all it is, and they're targeting poor people who for the most part are ignorant. I mean, I'll tell you, back in the day, I thought organic was a boutique food. I thought it was just a hoity-toity food that rich people ate. I didn't even understand what the purpose of it was back in the day. I was young and I had no idea. I did not educate myself on that until later, unfortunately, and I feel really bad for it because it caused me a lot of health problems. So, I mean, but they don't educate people. They don't tell you. And you have to spend hours in this country to try and figure out and navigate the danger zone that is our local grocery stores here.
We're coming up on 20 years. It's coming up on a generation of eating GMO foods with a lot of glyphosate and Roundup Ready, this and that, a lot of corn and soy. What are the health effects? What's going to happen a generation in on this?
So I just wanted to point this out because I don't think people know about this, but this is another loving, wonderful thing that our government does. I know there are people out there that are going to say, well, they're lucky they got anything at all. Welcome to WIC, the nutrition program that helps mothers and young children eat well and stay healthy.